Hello and welcome to Kump.
Hello.
Hello, Lucy.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Amazing. We're in week 2 of the Olympic Games. I can't get enough of this crap. It's just badminton and European handball and croquet. It's best. That's not in the Olympics. I got a feed for that. It's got me excited about world sport in general. I'm pretty fired up. Because what were we watching yesterday morning?
We were watching
Horses.
horses.
You were about to not remember. Horses.
I was about to forget if it was. I didn't remember if it was dressage or some other kind of horse.
Dressage?
Sport. You know dressage?
I don't know dressage. I thought that was
pretty sure
what you put on spanache.
I'm pretty sure dressage is like fancy horse dancing.
Fancy horse.
Like it's when you. It's when your horse like you kind of like skip around.
Hip hop dressage horse. No, this is not hip hop horses, Lucy. We were not you couldn't remember if we were watching hip hop horses or not. We were watching I don't know what you call it. Horses that hop. They jump things.
Yeah, they jump fences.
It was fun. I mean, it's fine. I like horses. You like horses a lot.
I love horses.
I could take them or leave them. I think they're nice creatures, but I'm not about to. I don't know what it is with women. I mean, I think I know what it is, but I'm not allowed to say what it is with women and horses. I mean,
you think it's all about the? You think
well, don't say it.
Yeah.
I've said it many times, and I've paid the price for that. I've been ostracized from many a party because I've brought up why women love horses. All right? But the reality, but regardless, they're nice to watch. So, you know, I turned it on in the morning, and I let you watch the horses, and I got into it. Here's the problem. They don't name, I mean, the horses have names, I guess, but the medals go to the people.
Yeah.
How the hell do the medals go to the people? I'm used to horse. I bet some money on horse racing, and you bet the horse. You don't even know. I mean, I'm not even allowed legally to know the jockey's name. I think.
And the horse is the winner.
The horse is the winner, not the guy riding him, not the guy whipping him in the neck. It's Cracker Barrel Joe or Doctor Who reunion party or whatever these horses' names are.
Or Escape from Reality.
You lost a lot of money on that horse, didn't you?
No, I won a lot of money on Escape from Reality.
Oh, okay. Well,
I lost a lot of money on all the other horses I bet on.
Right. Well, these are lovely horses, and one day they'll be glue or whatever, or put out the stud. But for a minute they get their glory, and that's just when a bunch of dirtbags at an OTB are glued to the screen watching them.
I think that if we brought degenerate gambling to Olympic horse trials,
yeah,
maybe it would make them. It would force them to be honest a little bit.
Well, we might need to because I'm about to get some pushback probably, and you're about to, but these pushback people are gonna have to sit down because I hear people go, well, you don't understand. You hop in these fences, these little Eiffel Tower fences they put up. And I got, I'm a jockey, whoever they don't even call them jockeys, whatever they call them. I can tell, these people, no, I'm the one who has to hop the horse and pull the reins. And it's here's the problem. I saw a 59-year-old woman yesterday riding a horse hopping these things. No sport should be able to be performed by a 59-year-old, man or woman. If you're 59 and you're competing for a gold medal, you're not doing it. It's the horse.
Yeah.
At 59, you're lucky you're alive. You're lucky that horse hasn't thrown you into Christopher Reeve's, dinner party. You know what I mean? If you know what I mean. So I don't know. I mean, where do you come in on this?
I agree with you. I mean, I think the horse deserves way more credit. I was just trying to look up whether or not Olympic horse riders are called jockeys. They should be, by all rights.
They should be called passengers.
Yeah.
They should
all have to be tiny like jockeys are.
They should have to be legally, they should have to be below 3 foot.
Yeah.
I mean,
I actually could believe that it took some strength on their part to pull the reins up and make the horse go.
I think it should only be allowed to be performed by children with progeria. That thing that Maury Parvich used to, hawk to the TV audience. It should, hey, hello, Maury. Those should be the people who get, a lick of glory.
Yeah.
But we don't name them. That's unfair. Look, it's enough that they're there.
They'll at least get a color.
They won't complain. These progeria kids. This is the best thing that's ever happened to them.
Right.
Since Maury Parvich went off the air.
It's probably better for them if they have pseudonyms.
Sure.
Yeah. You don't want them getting harassed.
No, I mean it will happen. They'll we don't want the progeria kids getting swatted. I mean, does that happen now? Or Olympic athletes getting? I hope not.
Swatted?
Yeah.
I hope so.
You hope so?
I think they should include that in the kind of like pre-show.
In the pre-show.
Yeah. It's like it's something that like all Olympians know is going to be a challenge for them.
I would hide my name in the Olympics because I would not want to be. I'd be afraid that what would I be playing water polo and I smash the ball in someone's face and all of a sudden my family is being some overweight cops shoving a battering ram down our dilapidated door.
That would actually be a good solution to this problem because, like, some people, there's this controversy about like should these Olympic athletes should they be able to claim mental health issues to get out of performing their duties to their nation.
Sure.
And I think that it would kind of balance the scales a little bit if like all Olympic athletes were gang stalked, year round.
You think the CIA should devote because none of this should be done by the people.
No,
the people are horrible at this stuff.
Yeah,
none of your vigilante Olympic support. That's not neat. We're talking about should the CIA, do what they usually do to like people who are questioning BP oil or whatever, or Chevron, who are saying Chevron poisoned people in South America somewhere, and then the CIA gets together and like makes the guy who thinks he's going insane and then puts him in a Panamanian prison or something. Should they devote those resources clandestinely to the Olympics in some way?
Yeah.
I don't know. You're for it.
Yeah.
I
think they should be told it's going to happen. And
who?
Other
countries?
If you don't want to be a gold medal winning Olympic athlete because you might get gang stalked, that's up to you.
Right.
But if you sign on for this, just know that sometimes there's going to be people drilling holes in your walls, looking at you through them, blasting your body with radiation.
Wow. Okay. So not just making you, so actually irradiating people. You really, I mean, I've never seen you support the CIA so vigorously. Interesting. Because typically the CIA doesn't tell you ahead of time we're going to be doing stuff, but you think Biden, like, in one of his last official acts should, announce, for the 2028. I mean, it'll be fitting because, I mean, not the next one, but the next summer one, I think is LA, right? 2028.
Oh, really?
You think he should say, hey, get ready for 2028 because I have the boys at Langley prepping every arena, every pommel horse with radiation guns, with toxic sludge in the barracks where you're gonna stay. We're gonna have you staying on nuclear submarines. And we're gonna be spying and like you better bring your best counter espionage whatever stuff. Your best. You used to smoke out our agents. That would be an interesting thing. That would be an interesting kind of level to this. Because no one wants war. Like, no one wants it to be like, hey, the men lost gold in basketball and huge upsets that we bombed, whoever it would be, Germany or France. Mm-hmm. That's not fun. But what if we, like, just waterboarded some people, the coaches. Like whatever the CIA typically does. 'Cause, look,
And we'll do it to our own people too. It's not like we're just doing it to everybody else's athletes.
How is that going to work? Now we don't even know what we're doing.
Because now it's like, and then because when somebody shows up and they say, I'm feeling mentally fragile, you can say, no shit, everybody's feeling mentally fragile. We've destroyed you all mentally over the last year. That's part of the game.
So. Okay, so you think that, look, I'm not saying that like some of these quote unquote mentally unwell athletes aren't faking it. I can't say for sure they're not faking it. That being said, I don't know that the answer is to just torture everybody. I'm not sure that solves the problem of this poor morale, because the issue is morale, right?
Right.
We don't want this, whoever it would be, Michael Phelps type. Going, I'm sad. I might jump in the water in a way you don't want, if you know what I mean.
In a way that isn't fun for you.
Yeah. And then and so we just waterboard. I mean, it would kind of be. Could you even waterboard Michael Phelps? He has like his VO2 levels are like astronomical. He can. I mean, I think he could survive. He can breathe a waterboard.
Yeah.
That would be. See that's the kind of drama that we're missing. Because you have to train not just to. I mean, I don't know what the point of your thing is, but I kind of like that you have to also train to like to evade to whatever the word withstand torture.
Yeah.
And you have to train to like run really fast and to breathe through a waterboarding in order to win gold.
Yeah.
That can be fun, not for the athletes, but fun for us.
Yeah.
But I don't think they should like. Well, I guess we're gonna have to. I'm a little wary of like showing the waterboarding, but then it otherwise they can just fake it. It becomes WWE, and no one wants that in the world stage.
No,
bunch of fake waterboardings, a fake Abu Ghraib.
Awful.
This is crazy. Wow, you really come into something. So I mean, but do you think you think the jockeys need to be gang stalked and irradiated and exposed to harmful materials,
and then not given any credit?
Yeah. And no one will ever know your name. Well, welcome to the show. Speaking of stuff like that, there was because there were people who were actually tortured in this country. Well, I guess not technically, but well known. I gotta say, we might have done a thing. Me and Lucie.
Yeah.
Because if you checked out our Patreon this week, and I guess we might as well plug it while we're doing this, patreon.com/RayCump. Also, please like and subscribe, or else we'll be gang stalked. On our Patreon, we talked about how there's a plea deal for the guys who did 9/11, Khalid Sheikh Mohammed and others. 2 other people, I don't remember. They're like the supporting cast. He was a big guy, and we were skeptical of the timing. Why is it happening 25 years now? And what were they trying to hide? Why were they trying to have a plea deal?
Why were they trying to ram this through?
Yes, and I guess the Defense Secretary of America might listen as a Patreon member, perhaps. I can't say for sure. He's probably under an alias, but because he's abruptly revoked the plea deal with alleged 9/11 mastermind KSM co-conspirators. So why have they done this? Did they quote our podcast in this?
In a surprise memo quietly released Friday night, Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin said the responsibility for such a significant decision should rest with me. Only 2 days earlier, the Pentagon announced that it had reached a plea deal with Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, more commonly known as KSM, and 2 other defendants accused of plotting the 9/11 attacks.
Is that his only reason? Is he just being fussy?
I want it to be my decision.
Hey, I'm in charge.
Imagine if he was doing this just to show his own authority, and somehow they ended up getting let off.
Yeah, like the prosecutor, whoever he is like. Well, yeah, you should arrest my permission. All right, well, I didn't. So I mean, we're gonna do cancel it. Yeah. Austin said that he was withdrawing from the 3 pre-trial agreements, which had taken the death penalty off the table for the 3 men. Prosecutors in the case have been discussing the possibility of a plea deal for more than 2 years. Again, I don't know what changed. Was it on the was it the anniversary of 9/11 where we remembered they existed? I don't know. I mean, they've been sitting in Guantanamo for 20 years, and all of a sudden we gotta brush these guys into a death-free cell, for lack of a better term.
Death-free cell.
Since the prison exchange for pleading guilty to all charges, including conspiracy and the murder of 2,976 people. I mean, that's a lot of people to kill.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like, to not get the death penalty for that is, I mean, it's bold. Because, I mean, they'll give that to you for, anything these days. You get death penalty for speeding now. You can get it if you're in certain states.
Yeah.
I don't know. Based on nothing. But I mean, no, they like to, you kill a cop, you say the wrong thing while you're killing someone, you can get that penalty.
Oh yeah, for sure.
2,900 people, it's a lot of people.
Yeah. I wonder if that's why he wants to withdraw it. Like, because it does seem like they should be able to get him and give him. It doesn't seem like there's going to be a trial.
It doesn't seem like there's going to be a trial, period. Like, it's been 20 something. I mean, how many years do you need to build the case? The building's not there anymore. Like, you can't collect any more evidence. Were they combing around the Freedom Tower for the last 10 years?
Right.
We were looking for this piece of debris. Like, it's not here anymore. No, but let me explain to you what it is. It's a chunk of a battery. This is a new building. Get out of here.
The plea deal announcement prompted a fierce backlash, including from both sides of the political aisle. And some groups representing 9/11 victims who have pushed for the U.S. government to pursue the death penalty for the worst attacks on U.S. soil since Pearl Harbor. They're leaving us out of this, but I think we had our role to play.
Look. I mean,
maybe it was more the groups representing 9/11 victims. But
I thought it was more because they just didn't want the defense attorney doing a cross examination, going Mr. Sheikh Mohammed, what floor at Langley was your office on? And he's like, well, on the 3rd floor. I kind of resented that. It just looked bad. So let's just get a plea deal going. But I mean, it doesn't seem like. Is there going to be a big trial now? Are they going to bring Bin Laden out? That would be amazing.
Wow.
If they you thought I was in the water. They just had, he was in the water the whole time, but he was just like, how when you catch a fish, but you keep him in like that. Is that something that happens? I'm imagining you catch a fish and it's hooked and his mouth is hooked, and then you kind of just put him in the under you hold him there in that position and you drag him while you're not to torture him, just because to keep it fresh.
Right.
You want fresh fish.
You want fresh fish when you get home.
Yeah. I mean, why don't they do that? Why don't they just drag? I don't mean these big, Perfect Storm, George Clooney, Mark Wahlberg ships. They got 10,000 bass or whatever. But I mean, if I'm a fisherman, I got a little boat. I'm like Tony Soprano, right? I'm fishing with AJ, and we catch a grouper, a nice grouper. We're gonna take it home and make grouper sandwiches. Why can't I just drag this fish by a big hook? It's a bigger hook. Why can't I take an anchor hook? This is not what we're talking. We're getting off topic here.
I think you would have to have a house that's right by the river, though. Because how long would you be able to tug it along before you ran out of water?
That's a good point. maybe there could be added to the car. Then there's a cooler with water that you drag.
So, yeah.
Defeats its own purpose. I think there are interests here that may not have been represented as fairly and as aggressively as they should have been, he said. I mean, at this point, this is 23 years later, you're still running an organization for 9/11 victims, and your goal is not hey, let's make sure this mesothelioma gets treated. It's we want blood. It just seems odd. If I was a member of that group, I'd be livid at the guy running the group, Todd or whoever. They say the guy's name who runs this 9/11 victims group.
9/11 Justice.
Brett Eagleson. I mean, how is Brett Eagleson? I mean, this guy how long has he had his job for? This just seems Trust me. Vote. Give me one more term, and I'll get KSM. I'll get him dead. What is even like? Is that his like full-time job? There's not much to do, right?
Yeah, I mean, he's the president. Yeah.
Oh man, I don't want him to accuse a guy who's head of a victims organization for being like, you know, whatever that would be. I'm not even sure what I'm accusing him
on
of.
it.
You think? I mean, of all the conspiracies about 9/11, the one just as a guy trying to make milk these. No, the plane. No one's saying the towers didn't fall, the planes weren't real, anything like that. It's all real, and I did it so I can milk these victims' families for 20 years. Oh man, that would be an interesting. These plea deals should not perpetuate a system of closed-door agreements where crucial information is hidden without giving the families of the victims a chance to learn the full truth. I mean, you think the full truth? Come on. Well, you saw what happened. Full truth.
I mean, maybe he's a truther deep down.
If I was, I mean, you know, he should be. But at this point, even if you're a truther, you should be like, look, we get what you're doing. Give these people another couple hundred grand. I mean, I don't think I got anything. Give them a couple $100,000. And we'll shut up about it. Maybe that's what he's trying to do. I want to take over this organization and be like, I'm going to get you all a hot tub. One hot tub each. It's not going to be top of the line. We're probably going to have to get, you know, it'll probably be like last year's model or whatever. I don't know. Do they replace them every year? I'll look into it.
It'll be a hot tub per family member lost.
Well, I mean, if you look, if a family lost like 3 people, I mean, all the more reason they don't need 2 hot tubs, right? Like, 3 hot tubs. I mean, like, I don't think that makes sense. I mean, one household of people who lost family members gets a hot tub each, like per household of people who lost a family member or more. You know, because again, we lost more people, so you need less space.
Sure.
And I'm not happy about that, but I mean, I don't get your argument that you need more hot tubs. Because, I mean, we're not paying for the electricity to generate these hot tubs or to run them. I mean, it's going to cost you a hell of a lot of money to run 3 hot tubs.
Yeah, well, you know, we were just thinking maybe we'd sell one or sell a couple.
Well, that's just, come on, that's we're getting you a hot tub. You don't sell a gift on eBay. I mean, if you do, you don't tell the person who's about to give it to you. I'm getting you a hot tub. I'm sorry that your children and your husband didn't make it, but you know, it doesn't. Don't make me sound harsh. Don't make me sound callous by saying anything. I know. But come on, man, you're trying to bilk me. I did a good thing. That guy spent 20 years just trying to get some guy killed, and then you had nothing to show for it. I'm getting you a hot tub, and your first thing you say is, "I want more hot tubs." Come on, this is ridiculous. I'm a good man.
Senator Lindsey Graham, a South Carolina Republican, warned that the plea deal sends a horribly bad signal at a very dangerous time. The world is on fire. Terrorism is rampant. And we give a plea deal to the mastermind of 9/11.
I mean, to be fair.
That's kind of was my thought. I mean, not minus the world's full of terrorism.
Look,
thing.
I think it's a dilute. Look, I'm not all for the plea deal per se. More, and I've stated why. But I do not for a second entertain the idea that there's any version of us that were soft on the people who did 9/11, unless you mean the CIA. but I mean, the idea that like, oh, we didn't do enough. No, I'm not saying. Yeah, no, I'll say it. We did too much. I mean, unless you think Saddam Hussein had too many. You think he was? Well, you think he was involved? You think yeah? Maybe he was. Maybe Maybe we've been fed a bunch of bull for years, and this was a thing with Saddam and hot tub companies, and that's why Iraq happened.
Look, I think that we definitely did too much to the people who didn't do it.
Sure.
Arguably, I mean, maybe there's a case to be made that we did too little to the people who did.
I think if your wife is killed, right, in one of those movies where the guy's wife gets killed and then you go into vendetta, but the vendetta is you just going to the mall and opening fire. I don't think you get to be like, well, I didn't get the guys though. Well,
fair enough.
You lost your chance to get the guys. I mean, you did plenty. You made your mark.
Right.
I don't. This is not. But I get it. But again, this is why I said what I said. Give them a hot tub, and I'll get it for them. Because no one needs these people being accused of being greedy. We're giving them money, and then what are they going to spend the money on? No, look, a hot tub is a lovely thing that no one needs, right? So it's not
a luxury.
It's a luxury. You get a little luxury. Look, you had a horrible thing happen to you, you get a little perk. That's the way I do business. If horrible things happen to you on my watch, or if I inherit the watch, I'm going to make sure you get a little perk. That's just the way I roll. But what I don't want is people going, oh, look at the car this guy bought. This guy bought a Tesla. Oh, he's a conservative or whatever. You know what I mean? Oh, this guy gave that money to Kyle Rittenhouse. And it's like, it's a problem, right? Everything's a problem.
The hot tub is like a perfect item in a way. And much in the same way that like $1,000 is theoretically the perfect thing for universal basic income, because it's a small enough luxury.
It's useless
that it won't incentivize people to fake terrorist attacks.
Right.
But it's it's.
You think you're worried that people will come out? Look. I'm all for this because honestly, this doesn't happen enough. Economic discussions. We don't talk enough about political discussions, the unforeseen consequences, and the moral hazards, if you will. Just the incentivizing of things we don't want to happen. And you think that it's a fair point. You think that if I do this as the new head of the 9/11 Families Victims Commission group, that I'll be incentivizing people to fake terrorist attacks. Or you mean pretend that they were the victims of terrorism, or you mean actually commit acts of terror to get a hot tub?
A little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Interesting.
But I think the hot tub wouldn't. Now, if you promised everyone a house who is a victim of a terrorist attack, that would be that would be too much of an incentive to create fraudulent terrorism. I don't know exactly how somebody would do that. Create a fraudulent terrorist attack, but it seems like something that could maybe be done.
I think what I need to do, I need to make a caveat for this. As the head of the new victims family, I'm just gonna start an organization called the new 9/11 Victims Families Group, and then, it'll be a competing group. And if people like what I'm saying and offering with these hot tubs, they can come to my group. And then what's his name again? This guy who
Britt Eagleston.
It's a fair like the Olympics, a fair competition.
Right.
That being, if you want, but I'm gonna have to tell them, look, if you want this hot tub, I'm gonna need you to sign over power of attorney or something, or give me. I need access to your financial documents. I need to know I need a lot of. We're gonna have to scrutinize you a lot. We're gonna have to treat you like a criminal. In order to make sure, but I'm going to be upfront about it. Look, this is going to be a violation of your privacy. It's going to, but do you want to be responsible for the next 9/11? All right, so just get your hot tub and shut your mouth. Stop complaining that I'm requesting documents from your employer, and that and that there's surveillance at your house, and that your husband's being watched. Enough. Enjoy your hot tub. Don't question where it comes from. I get my hands dirty here. But that's fun. So I don't know. What does this mean? Are they gonna let him go now?
I don't know. It doesn't say what the new plan is.
I'm the only one with a plan. That's the problem. Oh, so international today. These stories. What else? What's this other thing going on? There's some guy. What's this thing with the prisoners?
Oh yeah, so Wall Street Journal reporter just came back from Russia.
Evan Gershkovich. He was held in Russia. They said he was a spy. Everyone in America seemed to say he definitely wasn't a spy. I was like, look, I'm not saying he's a spy, but
He could be.
I mean, why? Yeah.
Sometimes there are spies.
Let's not. The CIA does use journalists sometimes. I mean, I'm not saying he is one, but I mean, it just seems this is a problem with the CIA and things like that. And don't at me, CIA. You know I love America, and you know we're working together. But the problem is, it's like you muddy the waters.
Do you think we could tell if we like looked into this guy's like past reporting? Do you think we could tell just from the reporting whether or not he was a spy?
That would be a arduous, long. It'd be a lot of work, and I'm not going to do it.
Are there topics that are more spy-y journalists than real journalists?
I mean, like reporting on Baccarat.
On Baccarat.
And I don't know, what would you think if that was the case? What's the first thing you would think of?
I don't know. He seems like the kind of guy who would have reported on that. What happened? The Panera Bread lemonade that poisoned somebody. I feel like he'd write about something like that if he was a spy.
So he's a spy. So if he was a spy, wait. So you're saying that this guy reported was living as an American, I guess, right? For the Wall Street Journal, reporting on how bad the lemonade is Panera Bread, how it kills people, or whatever, allegedly. And Russia got mad about that. Russia's like, this is. You think Putin was like, I love that lemonade? Well,
it's the kind of thing where it's like, I think Putin would look at that story about the Panera Bread lemonade and say, this is almost too safe.
Do you think he was in Russia reporting on the Ukraine war, I guess, or I'm not sure what this guy was doing, but probably reporting on the Ukraine war, I imagine. And then, it's in the middle of the article going by the way, my wife told me she was drinking this atomic lemonade at Panera Bread. I can't. Well, I'm losing my mind. I'm over here, and she's drinking supercharged lemonade that people are claiming is killing people. Anyway, so the Nesprov, the oil company, has got involved in some scandal. I don't know. It doesn't seem like it's something he would be part of his purview. He's like talking about the coup. Who's the guy who did the coup the day of our wedding? You remember his name? Prigozhin.
Prigozhin, yeah.
He's like he's doing a profile of Prigozhin. My fucking wife again. I see her on Instagram. She's talking about this atomic lemonade. Stop drinking it. No one at the Wall Street Journal. There's no everyone's cost cutting, so there's no editors anymore. Mm-hmm. It's just he just makes it into the article, and Putin's just like, this is crazy. He doesn't even understand it. He's like, this must be code. He mistakes that for code, like the Wind Talkers. So I don't know. So I mean, but yeah, he was freed. Was the point?
Yeah,
we really buried the lead on that.
Russia freed Ron.
Hopefully, you don't get your news from us. Yeah. We're here for analysis. We're not reporters.
Right.
I'm not Cronkite. Imagine if I was and 20 we were 33 minutes in. I'm like, so anyway, Kennedy's dead. Sorry, it's real. And I start crying. It's good, man. Yeah, no, some guy shot from some bookstore. I don't know.
Russia freed a wrongly convicted Wall Street Journal reporter Evan Gershkovich,
I think.
As part of the largest and most complex East-West prisoner swap since the Cold War, in which he and more than a dozen others jailed by the Kremlin were exchanged for Russians held in the U.S. and Europe, including a convicted murderer.
That's just, I mean, is that?
I hope we got something a little bit better than a journalist for a murderer.
Well, we got. Well, look, I mean,
I want a murderer too.
Maybe we got a spy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it does seem like that because they claim we grew up. There was this idea that if you were overseas and something happened to you, America would bomb that country, and it doesn't really happen,
right?
Unless you're but sometimes it But if we catch some guy who poisoned 10,000 people, sometimes we'll swap them. That seems fair.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, what's the guy going to do it again? No.
Maybe.
They are safe, free, and have begun their journeys back into the arms of their families, President Biden said in the Post. Biden plans to greet Dershowitz. I mean, why is no one... People got very mad that Brittany Griner was traded for the... I mean, that guy, I guess that guy was pretty bad. He was the Sultan of War, or whatever it was called, or the Emperor of Missiles. I forget what they called him. It was some... But he had...
he was a warlord.
Something of death, right? Merchant
of Death, right?
Yeah. That's what they traded Brittany Griner for, the basketball player, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean... I guess that, like, to be fair, that does seem like a more... That guy might be worse. This guy just committed one murder. That guy was, I mean... Who knows? That guy committed murder? Who's more guilty? The guy who actually commits a murder? Or the guy who, like, sold all the guns for a war to the countries of both sides?
Probably the guy who sold all the guns.
It's really for philosophers to figure out, Lucy. All right? We're not equipped for that. Russia had kept Dershowitz, 32 years old, behind bars for more than a year on a false allegation of espionage. How come they don't say alleged? These papers always say alleged, don't they? Allegedly false allegations of espionage.
It would be horrible if, like, the newspaper you work for was like, alleged spy.
I mean, that's... Honestly, though, people would respect the press. And I don't want to be... Do I seem un-American? I'm not saying he did it.
Yeah.
Or he was. I mean, it just seems like, you know... Wouldn't it be? Isn't that the first rule of being like media literate and whatever? They go like, you know, your country says we didn't. They accused us of doing this, and it's like, well, no, we didn't. Oh, okay. You know,
right?
I'm not saying Putin's like trustworthy, but you know, I'm trying to be objective here.
Yeah, I mean, you got to clock the biases a little bit, like where you see them.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah, it would be a little messed up if they were like, you know. Well, we don't know. Were you? We don't know if we... Did we tell you? Did we work for the CIA? I'm not sure. What is this? Is it a private plane? Is that them? Are they on a private plane? How come no one's complaining about the carbon footprint here? For the property of U.S. government. Well, good luck with that. I was going to make a poster out of it. The deal that secured their freedom was a feat of diplomacy, Biden said. Moments after the release, some of these women and men have been... Moments after release. Some of these women and men have been unjustly held for years. All have endured unimaginable suffering and uncertainty. Today, their agony is over. And I'm going to smell their hair. Biden said. Multiple countries helped get this done. I don't know, but not everyone's happy about this. Because what was this thing? The other one I had you look. The thing? No, that's not that one. The apparently one of the guys wasn't happy about this.
Oh,
didn't we have the article? Apparently, one of the people freed is a little upset. No, where's the notes? Just go to the notes, and didn't I put it there? Why does nothing work? Why does nothing in the cloud work? This is why the stock markets and the Nasdaq's in a correction zone, and the AI bubble might burst because we can't even get the cloud to function. I share an article to the cloud, and where to go? Are we being sabotaged here? Whatever. There's a guy. This right? Oh God. Yes, there we go. Russian dissident said he was traded against his will in inmate swap. I didn't know you could free someone against their will.
Ilya Yashin, a prominent opposition politician, said he appreciated his freedom, but told his jailers he did not want it if it meant going into exile.
So this guy's pissed at, I guess, us, America. I mean, it's not really me, but I'm just trying to get 9/11 victims a hot tub. But he's pissed that I guess he was put in jail in Russia and didn't want to leave Russia, but we got him out. And then he's saying, well, I want to go back to Russia. I don't think he's going back, but he's saying he's kind of whining about not being able to go back to Russia. It seemed to go weird. Why don't you wait a week?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's like, I mean, I kind of get his perspective. He seems more pissed off at Russia than the U.S.
I don't know. He seems to be like, but Russia's on. I mean, what we want you? Should we put you back in prison?
Right.
What do you want to happen? It's like, I wish you wouldn't have traded me for this murderer. Well, let's just read this.
Ilya Yashin, one of the Russian dissidents traded to the West in Thursday's prisoner exchange for a group of Russian agents, cyber criminals, and an assassin, said on Friday he did not...
We say it that way. It does sound bad.
said on Friday he did not want his freedom if it meant leaving his country. I will never make peace with the role of an emigrant, Mr. Yashin, 41, said at a news conference with other newly freed Russians in Bonn, Germany.
Was an immigrant, all right. Like he doesn't want to be an immigrant. Is the point? Or leave his.
He doesn't want to leave.
He doesn't want to see himself as an immigrant in another country. That's what he's afraid. He's just. I've never liked him, so I don't want to be. No, I'm gonna put words in his mouth. But I mean, he's just maybe he doesn't like the idea of just being on the. Wait, I gotta learn a new language now. What is this shit? Well, I mean, my shows aren't gonna be on. What's the point? Where am I going to get, what's Russian food?
Borscht.
Where am I going to get borscht? Some places have borscht. I don't know.
I mean, it is like kind of clever of Russia to like imprison their own like political opponents and then like
trade
swap them.
Yeah, like why do we want them?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what seems weird. Why are we trying to get the guy? Is that a win for? I mean, Biden says it's a feat of diplomacy, but I mean, who do we get? So we got. They just needed guys to pad the deal. I think they could. I think that's what happened. They couldn't. This guy Gershowitz, whatever. He's let's just assume he's not a spy. Let's operate under that assumption because everyone else is anyway. We want him back. I mean, it's going to look bad if we let this murderer exchange because they remember the Griner thing and that looked bad. Right?
Right.
We don't want another Brittany Griner situation, so let's get a few more guys in the deal. How about, they got a bunch of guys who are in for DWEs or whatever. Like, imagine like being in, like getting a DWE and like being in jail for like a week or whatever, a month, 30 days, and they let you go early. What happened? Oh, we trade you for Herman Goering. Like, oh my God. Put me back. I was going to. This is not right. This is unjust.
He described a statement he wrote before he moved from his penal colony, insisting he did not consent to be exchanged, which he said included the declaration the Russian Constitution bans sending a citizen of the Russian Federation abroad without his consent. As a Russian citizen, I confirm and I do not give permission to be sent outside of Russia.
Well, how'd that argument work out for you?
Right.
Why don't you take it to the Russian Supreme Court? Hey, the Constitution doesn't really allow this. Like, I'm sure that's gonna. I'm sure the argument's gonna fall on not deaf ears.
You're trying to like pull sovereign citizen shit in Russia.
Yeah. Like I'm not trying to be like, oh, Russia. Like we're the freest country in the world, and Russia. But I mean, come on.
Yeah.
I don't think they're like, what? Is the Russian ACLU taking up this case?
He said he was told that if he attempted to return, he would meet the same fate as Alexei Navalny. Wait, aren't they still holding to the line that he like just died randomly?
This isn't official. Look, they whispered this to the guy, allegedly. First of all, this is what he said. I mean, this guy's just trying to. I think this guy is just like there's a little bit. Like I'm not trying. I don't want to put words in his mouth. I'm going to a little bit. If this did happen. If you use my case, right? We let you, we let you go with 4 days left, but you're out early. And it's amazing because jail sucks. No one wants to be in jail.
No.
And we let Jeffrey Dahmer out. And oh no! But you want to go back? No. You have to I'm going to take this to the Supreme Court. I'm not allowed to be expelled. So where do I stay? The Hilton?
Oh, nice.
Do they have friends? I was watching Friends before they arrested me.
Am I here in time for Oktoberfest? I can't wait to go to Oktoberfest.
I mean, it's a little so that he's like, oh, they told me that I'd meet the same fate as Navalny. I mean, maybe they did. Maybe an FSB officer whispered to him, if you come back, we'll do Navalny to you. It does seem a little I mean, look, it's it doesn't seem very spy-y.
Right.
You know, like it's not like you know the most clandestine act.
Right.
Like, you know, is that what spies do? Is just whisper threats? Hey, if you come back, we'll do that thing we did. You know, we'll get you like we got JFK. We'll get you like Jackie O. What happened to Jackie O? You don't want to know.
He said he was told that if he attempted to return, he would meet the same fate as Alexei Navalny, the opposition leader who died in February in the Arctic penal colony, where he was serving several sentences on what Western governments and human rights groups said were trumped-up charges. Moreover, Mr. Yashin said, they made it clear that my return would block any potential exchanges of any other political prisoners for the foreseeable future.
Why? Why would, like, I don't think they would lose any face. Wouldn't that be better for them? Like, I'm being very skeptical of this man. I mean, you know, people might attack me for it, but it just doesn't seem to, like, you know, like he came back, we put him in jail again. Like, it seems great. They could use him again, right?
Right.
We just exchange him for another murderer. Why would they warn you for this? No, come back. They seem to want you, and we don't care. So come back. We'll put you in jail again, and then we can trade you for another like valuable spy.
Right.
That's what I mean. If I was Putin, that's what I would do. Come back.
Yeah.
It's nice here. No, we'll Navalny you. Don't. I mean, come on. This seems a little.
He said there were many in far poorer health who should have taken his place in the exchange.
Okay.
Too bad for them.
Yeah. Go get a churro. Enjoy it. I don't know what to tell this guy. I mean, the guy is it's the guy he's talking about, the one with the Argentinian thing. Because this other story is this related
this other
story.
one. This is from the Russian side of things.
So I guess that's the guy that he's referring to as the murderer, right? Or is that a different thing? I mean, there's so many spies involved in this whole exchange. I'm not sure, but one of the I don't know. We're not sure because we don't read articles all the way through because we're half illiterate podcasters. But the headline here: Putin greeted children of freed sleeper agents in Spanish. Now, why would he do that? I think I already said they were sleeper agents, I guess. Yeah. But yeah, as they had only discovered they were Russian on the flight to Moscow.
That's a doozy.
Imagine that. That's straight out of TV.
The kid seems pretty happy.
What, in that picture?
Yeah.
First of all, no. I mean, it's not smiling.
That's actually true. They're not smiling.
And she's next to Putin with a bouquet of flowers in her hand.
I guess she seems at best ambivalent.
What the hell do you think a happy kid looks like? I mean, John looked happier at his dad's funeral than this. What are you talking about? This is crazy. I love to see your Rorschach test results. But apparently, yeah. So this girl is what, like 11? Looks like, or 10? I don't know. Yeah, I thought it was like a little kid. It's like a 10-year-old kid, and Putin's like, oh, hola. That's gotta be creepy as fuck. Hola. Because they're like, oh, we're actually, I mean, I guess they're saying it's in Spanish. Like, oh, we're actually Russians. They're on the plane. They got on this plane, or whatever. Oh, was the kid in jail?
I think the parents were in jail.
So where was the kid?
Let's see. Vladimir Putin greeted the children of 2 Russian sleeper agents in Spanish as they landed in Moscow following a recent prisoner exchange between Russia and the West. The children had only just learned they were Russian on the flight home and could not speak the language, Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov told reporters.
When the children of sleeper agents who flew in yesterday learned that they were Russian only when the plane took off from... I don't know. This doesn't make any sense to me. When the children came down the airplane ramp, they didn't speak Russian. Putin greeted them in Spanish. She said, "Buenos noches." Was he wearing a sombrero? And a fake mustache? Buenos noches. That's gotta be. That kid's got. That's the most terrifying thing I've ever heard. Imagine Vladimir Putin just like fucking coming at you. He's like, "Cómo está?" You speak a little Spanish, right?
There were like 3 Russian guys. It doesn't even make sense. I don't think they have them in Argentina, but it's just like there's just 3 Russian guys that like forming like a sloppy mariachi band. They're trying to sing Spanish songs with their thick Russian accents.
They're like really like shitty empanadas. Like, what is like? She's confused. Like, but yeah, they don't know. They're like, what is this? Like, they have a what do you call it? A pinata at the air in the hangar. Oh man, the children. I mean, that's really. But no, you're right. They look happy. It's the most terrifying thing I've ever heard.
The children's parents, Artem Dultsev and Anna Dultseva, were freed as part of a prisoner exchange that also involved the Wall Street Journal reporter Evan Gershkovich.
So everyone but Gershkovich is a spy in the situation, right? No, I guess not.
Well, like the political guy, the political opposition doesn't seem like he seems like he could not be a spy.
Oh wait, yeah, he seems like he could not be a spy. It doesn't seem like, why else would we? I mean, I don't know. Why do we want him? I mean, he was doing political opposition.
Yeah.
I'm just asking people not to like. I'm not jumping. You can't get mad at me. People all over the internet are accusing people of being trans when they're not, or if they are. And there's debates about that. And they're calling Kyle Rittenhouse a trans woman because he said he was going to write in Ron Paul because Trump wasn't strong enough on gun rights. And I'm not judging whatever. But you can't get mad at me just because maybe the guy might have been a spy. I don't know. I'm just being objective. I'm trying to. Don't come at me like, why aren't you a patriot? I don't know who would be saying this. Some Secret Service agent is just like is grabbing my ears. Love America more. I don't know. I'm paranoid. The couple have been convicted by a Slovenian court of pretending to be Argentinians to carry out espionage. Interesting. So they're Russians who went to Slovenia?
I guess their backstory
pretend to be Argentinian? Okay, yeah,
was
no.
that they were Argentinian.
No, this tells you how good I am. I'm a guy who, like, if you Lucie knows. I've always been really into espionage history. I know a lot about it. And I'm just going like, why would they? But they went to Slovenia. Why would they pretend to be Argentinian? I'm a moron. Yeah, of course, that's their backstory or whatever. Why would they pretend to be Slovenian? I'm so mad. The couple pleaded guilty to spying charges and were sentenced on July 31st, a day before the exchange. Does that make you a bad spy if you admit it?
Should you never admit it?
I would never
ideally
admit it. I would never, because I feel like as a spy, I would just imagine that as soon as you admit it, they just give you the death penalty.
I feel like they may have expected that of their spies in the 60s, but now they're probably like, nobody really has the fiber for that anymore.
I guess they torture you too, right? That's the thing. Yeah, they torture you for a while, and then you go to court. It's not like they get you like in Law and Order,
right?
They trick you it's like no, it's like electrified sticks. What do they call those things? Cattle prods, and all sorts of terrible things. So yeah, Gershkovich. Russia also released the former U.S. Marine Paul Whelan. Oh wait. Paul Whelan. Which one was that guy? That guy seemed from which one? Who was Paul Whelan? I forget who he was.
Oh, opposition activist.
No, Paul Russia also released former U.S. Marine.
Oh. Yeah, who is Paul Whelan?
Look up Paul Whelan. Wasn't he accused of being a spy? The Canadian-born former United States Marine left Marines in 2008 with a bad conduct discharge after being convicted on multiple counts related to larceny. He was arrested in Russia on December in 2018, accused of spying. Are we saying he didn't do it? This is a guy who was basically got kicked out of the Marines for being a thief. It seems like I'm not saying he was. But the Marine larceny is being a thief. I feel I'm a good guy. I don't want to call a Marine. Hey, you're a thief. Whatever. He stole something.
Right.
I don't know what they made you do. Maybe they made you do some terrible stuff. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna take this soda machine home with me. The Dr. Pepper machine. It's coming. It's gonna be in my den. I've done enough for this country, and I think he's right. I might not love war, but I'm not anti-troop. And then he goes to Russia, and then they make him. They say he's a spy. Like, no, what are you talking about? I got kicked out of the Marines for stealing a Dr. Pepper machine. What? You think I'm a spy? I mean, if he was a spy, that'd be a terrible backstory. It'd be like The Departed. I mean, I guess it's what it'd be like The Departed, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like, hey, like I don't like you go to why would I go to Russia? They know I'm a Marine. Like, it doesn't make any sense. No. We'll do this thing where you stole a Dr. Pepper machine. We kick you out of the Marines. I stole a Dr. Pepper machine. What are you talking about? Like, yeah, you wanted to take it to your den because we made you kill too many people or something. What? I'm a logistics officer. Nah, yeah, they don't know that.
Do you want a refresher on why he was
sham trial? Okay, yeah, go ahead. Yeah, instead of speculating spuriously about it. Sure.
Wait, sham trial, meatball surgery, no human rights.
So he's holding up a picture. Russia has these glass things in courts that I guess you can't like. I mean, we don't have this problem in America really, and we're much more. I mean, I don't know what in our I feel like our people are pretty violent.
Right.
But we don't have to we don't put them in glass cages in
I feel
court.
like don't they do that in England too? I feel like I've seen that on like
maybe. But they have these guys in glass cages in court, and he's in a sweater, and he's holding up a piece of paper that says "sham trial!" exclamation point for each line. Meatball surgery, no human rights. Paul's life matters. He's Paul.
Yeah, I think so.
Why not my life matters? Wouldn't that be more compelling? My life matters. Paul's life matters.
So I was trying to do a little spin on the
Paul's dead.
On Black Lives Matter or something.
Oh, okay.
Paul Lives Matter. But,
I thought it was maybe like because Paul is dead from the Beatles. He's trying to do like Paul's alive. I don't know. Yeah, your thing makes more sense. Decisive action from POTUS and PMs needed. PMs. Like British guys?
Prime Minister, yeah.
You can get both. POTUS or PMs, maybe. I want England help too. Why are they involved? Happy birthday. And then happy birthday. You can't just put happy birthday at the end of your daughter or wife or whatever. That really kind of takes the sting out of this.
Flores' his girlfriend's daughter. She's his Anna Amy.
Yeah. If I'm ever held in a Russian prison, I'm not going to be. And congratulations on your baptism, Anna Amy, or whatever. Not baptism. What would it be? Confirmation. I don't know. The American disappeared without a trace for 3 days until his twin. Wait, well, hold on. What's going on? In room 3324 of Moscow's Metro Hotel, Paul Whelan was getting dressed for a friend's wedding when Russian intelligence officers burst in. The American disappeared without a trace for 3 days until his twin stumbled across a news report announcing that his brother had been charged with espionage. Look, this is already confusing enough that I think it's probably true.
Yeah.
Maybe true.
He was at a friend's wedding in Russia, and
the twin...
And there was a twin looking.
This is already. This is when you start to glaze over. Like, what's happening? And then, someone made this. This is a cooked up thing. This is a work or whatever. Well, what do they call that? What do the spy agencies call it when they do a thing like this?
Oh, it's a
kerfuffle. I don't know. I'm an idiot. That was New Year's Eve 2018, the start of a case that would embroil 4 Western governments and pile pressure on relations with Russia that had already sunk to a post-Cold War low. Almost 18 months later, William had been convicted of spying, receiving Russian state secrets after a short trial. Was his twin involved in the trial? The twin just seems like an extra step here. Why would they even include the twin?
Yeah.
The New York Times, it was the BBC.
The former U.S. Marine who also has British, Irish, and Canadian citizenship.
Oh God, come on. This is James Bond twins. This is just ridiculous. I mean, the spies are all bad at their jobs now. They're all just really clumsy. We traded Russia for a bunch of spies in exchange for a spy/assassin and sleeper agents, or maybe they're the same person. and the journalist, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, people out there seem to know. I know nothing about the guy. It just seems odd. I guess that's what you do, to be fair. Because all the other journalists are going, well, no, this guy didn't do it. Should I believe them?
Right.
I mean, I don't want to make this, be the guy saying this stuff. But at the same time, cares. What do you think?
No, I mean, look, I think that there's some times, or this is just a really funny paragraph. The former U.S. Marine, who also has British, Irish, and Canadian citizenship, has always insisted on his innocence. And in court this week, he described himself as a victim of greasy, slimy Russian politics.
I mean, yeah. In court this week, he described himself. In what court?
This was back like when he was initially arrested for the Marine.
Right. Oh, this is 4 years ago.
Yeah, this is Paul Whelan.
Yeah, I don't know. If I was, I mean, look, I guess it's a pretty bold thing to be like, hey, look, I'm not a spy. I'm the victim. Like, when you know you're in Russia, it seems like a weird thing to be like, I'm just a victim of greasy Russian politics. And it's like, maybe don't, tempt them, you're pushing a little bit.
Right.
I mean, I wouldn't be talking shit in that moment. I guess I'm not as tough as Paul Whelan. I'm not a Marine. Well, we're glad he's back.
Yeah.
Hope he gets his Dr. Pepper machine, and all is well. And welcome back to Evan. Look, as a journalist, I think he can appreciate us being skeptical of whether or not he's actually a journalist or not. If anyone should be on our side in this, it's him.
Yeah.
He should really defend us. If anyone comes at us, I want Evan Gershkovich to defend us in the Wall Street Journal and say, no, look, they're right. This is objective journalism, what they're doing.
Yeah.
You think he'll do that?
Oh, I don't think so. I don't think he'll.
No one's loyal anymore.
Have the courage to.
Remember, we can't keep doing what we're doing, and we're not sure what we're doing, but we can't keep doing it unless you like and subscribe. We will be put into some kind of facility unless you like and subscribe and hit the notification bell. And and with the notification, look, I don't want to say if you're a 9/11 victim, but whatever. But I mean, if you're interested in the justice for 9/11 victims, and by that I mean getting the hot tub for them, then also all the more reason to hit that notification bell and say, hey, let me call me. I want you call me when the podcast is out. Because people, again, I keep saying this, people go, well, I didn't know the podcast was there. And then you have to hit the notification bell and then use like a retinal scan and send your medical bills to YouTube. And in exchange, I'll let you know we're here. And then the patreon.com/RayCump, extra episode every week for $5 a month. That's it. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great week.